Hi everyone, welcome to His Arrows Are Hands. If we haven't met before, my name is Celeste. This morning when I was having my time with the Lord, I was looking through my notebook. I love to journal and write down different things to the Lord. It's something that I've enjoyed doing since I was a little girl, and it's been such a blessing to me over the years. And as I was looking back on old things that I had written throughout the year, I came across a word that ministered to my life in the very beginning of this year, 2022. As I read through it again, the Lord was ministering it to my life again in a fresh new way, and I felt in that moment to also be able to share it with you. My prayer and my hope is that it will be an encouragement to you on this day. It is found in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 3, and it says, "Let not mercy and truth forsake you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart." This is a word that was written by Solomon, and we know the Lord gave him a special gifting of amazing wisdom, and he left this for us so that we also would benefit from this wisdom. In this verse, we see something that's a warning to preventative action. We as moms know that it's much better to prevent something than to treat something. We've all dealt with situations where we try to look ahead and prevent things from coming because it's much more effective than treating a situation after it's already here. So here we see the Lord giving us this little nugget, this piece of advice, something to prevent something in the future. So here we see this amazing gift the Lord left us in His Word. There are two key elements that I want us to look at as things that the Lord is calling us to be able to keep in our lives, to bring and hold in our lives. Why? Because they are not things that are naturally part of us. They are things that need to be added to my life. And these two things are mercy and truth. The first element is mercy. I once heard mercy defined as not getting what we deserve. And I love that definition. I felt it was so straightforward and truly describes, right? When we know that there is something that we have done, that we deserve something. But mercy is us being spared of that which maybe we deserve. And mercy goes coupled really well with grace. And we know that grace is favor that's not deserved, right? Unmerited favor. Pretty much getting what I don't deserve, to getting the good that I don't deserve. And so mercy and grace go coupled really close hand in hand. And when we think of our lives and our homeschool, these are two ingredients or two elements that just are so essential to be part of our lives. For us within ourselves, but also for us to extend to our families, to those around us. Who doesn't love to receive mercy? Who doesn't recognize their need of grace? We all do. That is why Jesus came. He knew we needed His grace. Element number one is mercy. Element number two is truth. I think that in the times that we're living, it is so easily to be boggled down by all the things, all the noise that we hear around us, things that are being fed to us by the media, things that are being fed to us by the agenda of the world that want to come and make us think and make us grab onto things that are not based on truth. Truth can be defined in one word. Truth is Jesus, what He says, what He wants, what He thinks, whatever comes out of His mouth, whatever comes out of His heart, that is truth. Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." This is the second element that we must keep in our lives, that we must keep in our homeschools. The amazing thing about our God is that when He tells us to do something, He doesn't just give us the ingredients. He also gives us process. We know that when we have a recipe, we need the ingredients list, but we really need the procedure as well as to let us know how to incorporate those ingredients, right? To be able to come out with the recipe that we want. And the truth is that as the Lord is telling us we need these two elements, these two ingredients, He's also telling us the procedure to be able to make them effective and come out with the result that He wants in our lives. This procedure is not a super complicated process, as we know many recipes, right, they may have a simple ingredients list, but the process is very complicated. This one is not. It has two simple actions. The first action is to bind these two ingredients. When we bind something, make it securely permanent. So when we're called to bind it around our necks, is to be able to take mercy and truth and secure it around us. And what came to my mind was like a necklace. If I take this necklace and I want to secure it around my neck, it has a little clasp, right? If I just place it around my neck but didn't secure it with this clasp, it would fall. When I secure the clasp, then it stays. It's something that's always with me. It's permanent. Things can come, the wind can come, things can blow, I can bump into things, but it's still gonna stay there. It's gonna stay secure. And that's the type of security, that's the type of permanence the Lord is calling for us to have His truth in our lives. So that when the enemy wants to come and bombard us with a lie, we hold His truth and we surround it. Just like it says in Ephesians 6, when it talks about the armor of God, the belt of truth is an essential piece that we are called to completely surround ourselves, to gird ourselves with the belt of truth. See, here the Lord telling us in this scripture to bind His truth, to bind mercy around our necks. And the location I find is so interesting, and I don't think it's a coincidence, because when we think about our necks, we see there's a lot of things that are tied to it. My neck controls my head. I see with my head, I hear with my head, I think with my head. So when I can encircle something around my neck, it influences all of the senses on my head. Neck controls my talk, controls my throat, also what I consume, what I let into my life. So it impacts what goes in and also impacts what comes out of us. So this part is the keeping. So this first action, this first part of the process is the keeping. It's keeping these elements part of my life, around my neck, ingrained in my heart. The second step is the doing. The word says to write them on the tablet of our hearts. So writing them is an action that we take, and writing them on the tablet of our heart. Heart represents our soul, and our soul is comprised of our thoughts, our intellect, our emotions, and also our will. So it truly does determine the steps that we take, the decisions that we make. So when we can bind the Lord's mercy and His truth around our lives so that it changes us, but also write it on the tablet of our hearts, then it can also impact our families. It also can impact anywhere we go. No matter what season you may be in, as a mom, as a wife, as a woman, as a homeschool mom, I pray this word is a refreshment to your soul, and that you can take this special necklace the Lord has left us in His word, bind His mercy, to bind His truth in our life, and allow it to refresh our souls. I pray that you and your family are well. I pray you are blessed. I thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to talking to you soon.